So I was scything over here and I noticed these nuts. I think these are hickory nuts, but they're all over the ground. I don't really know what you do with these. These definitely are not black walnuts. Not really sure what these are 100%. Yeah, see them all up in here? They're everywhere. I'm gonna collect a bunch of them and go home and do some research and see if I can use them in some sort of way. I don't know exactly what type of hickory there are. I'll look at the trees. Let's see. There's one right here with shaggy bark. What is this tree? What is that? A river birch? No, it's a shagbark hickory. This is a shagbark hickory. Yeah, I can see the leaves. Yeah, it's definitely not a birch. This is a shagbark hickory. So this is probably the tree that they're falling off of. I'll have to do some research and see what we can do with those. I've made a hickory brew before, but I can't remember. I thought the hickories, it must have come off a pig nut hickory because there's no green shell around that. Maybe the shagbarks are a little bit different. I don't know. I have to do some research. But I think I've made a hickory brew off the pig nut hickories. And like I said, it looked like a little nut. The tree opened up, I believe, with those. I'm not sure. Maybe these were supposed to, I guess, yeah, that would have been it. These would have been dry and they opened up and I picked the nuts directly off the ground. I guess that would have been like November or so. But these haven't opened up, so I'm not sure why they're on the ground. I'll do some research and we'll see what we can do with these. So I was saying earlier that I found the dried ones, and the dried ones are the ones that I've used before. So pop this open. Yeah, and see there's that little nut right there. And I have cracked these open. Edible Acres has a video on it. You crack these open and I can't remember, it's been a long time since I did it. But I'll do some research on the green ones. There's a lot of green ones here. Maybe the squirrels are knocking them out, or maybe this is just when they drop and then you wait for them to dry on the ground and then you pop them open. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna pick a bunch of the green ones too. And I'm gonna just scythe around. I'm gonna scythe around all these. And I'm gonna just come back later and see if I can get them when they're dry. Because I think the tree that I got from my cousin's house, it was not a shagbark. It was either a pig nut or a mocker nut. I've heard that the shagbark is supposed to be a really good nut, like to eat just straight up, like better than pistachios apparently. There's also a lot of value potentially in hickory oil in the future. I think each tree, if you give it a lot of sunlight and space, it can produce like 6 gallons of oil a year or something. So there's maybe something we can do with that. I don't know. That's a big hickory tree. I can clear around it and everything, and maybe I can try to make that on another video. I don't know. We'll see. Just another cool find. I was just saying in the video with that beautyberry, which we're still right here, the beautyberry's right over there, but this is an area where a bunch of trees have fallen down, and look at all the pawpaws coming up in here. It's just full of pawpaws on here. Like I said, it looks almost tropical, but they're coming up underneath these oak canopies. These are chestnut oaks right here. They also like growing underneath black walnuts, but I don't know why, but we don't have any black walnuts. This is a hickory right here, but no black walnuts, but still lots of pawpaws. Yeah, look at them growing all in here. They're a beautiful understory tree. That's a pawpaw. And maybe by the time I'm an old man and I'm on YouTube, this chestnut tree will have fallen and it'll open up for these pawpaws, and you'll have a lot more fruit off of them when you can clear around them a little bit and give them some more sunlight. But I wouldn't cut down that chestnut oak. It's too pretty. And plus, there's not a lot of places that have a ton of... This place does have a lot of chestnut oaks. That's chestnut oak. It's a huge hickory over there. But I don't know if I'd cut down a tree that big. It'd be really difficult and dangerous to cut down a tree that big. But that's the problem with clearing around the pawpaws, is a lot of times they're in such big old growth, you don't want to cut down the trees. And like I said, it's just dangerous to cut down the trees anyways. But yeah, I'm going to be looking in here. There might be some more fruit on the ground. I'll tell you what, I always just pick the pawpaws off the tree, but I've never actually... Usually I go and I pick them off the trees like when I'm kayaking on the Saluda River, but since we're walking out here, we're just finding them on the ground. Bunch of them, look at them. They're little pile of pawpaws. And that's just right here. You can see them right there, hanging in the tree. They look like a tropical fruit. They're a weird fruit. It tastes like a mixture between a banana and a mango, wouldn't you say? I think I said that earlier. Yeah. Awesome finds. Those are some cool white mushrooms. I don't know what these are. So we found wood ears here and there, but we also have been finding a lot of Reishis. And we think this is a young Reishi. It's still very soft, but it does have... We're gonna mark it and come back here. But maybe y'all can see it better. Turn it like that. In that direction. Oh shit. That's some reishi mushroom. It's covered up right there. Oh, that's the stem of it. Reishi mushroom. This one right there too. Let me get some cool pictures of that. I bet there's other ones around here. So, this is a really cool environment if you're down here in the floodplains in the southeast looking for mushrooms, which I actually didn't really think about these areas. I found some chanterelles about a month ago in a kind of an area like this, but it was an old depression where water sits in the winter and it dries up in the summer. But right now, I'm standing in what was the river bottom. All right, so you see, there's my dog right there, and she's actually going into where the bank used to be for this old river bottom. These are called Oxbow Lakes. A lot of the creeks around here flow like this, and eventually they'll just cut through, and they'll take the river will take the shortest path possible, and it'll cut through, and it'll just leave these sections of the river like this, just with no water running anymore. Because the water changed courses, it's taking a more efficient path. So you get left with these, what we call Oxbow Lakes. And like I said, in the winter, these will be full of water. We're getting to right here. You see there's no vegetation really right here. And then once you get in here, there's vegetation. This is where the water line is right here in the wintertime. You see Tyler down there for scale. But yeah, these are really cool places. You should be looking for chanterelles in here. Because like I said, I found chanterelles on that bottom on the other part of the property, but I actually didn't look down in here. I didn't think these would be completely devoid of water, but they are. So I should have came down here and looked for chanterelles. But a lot of cool mushrooms to find up in here, because a lot of people think mushrooms want total darkness, but they actually don't really like growing up in here. And maybe they do, but you really can't see up in here. I mean, it just messes with your eyes, having all this vegetation there. And I've just noticed that I find a lot more. You won't find chanterelles growing up in that stuff. They like clear spots, deer trails. Like I said, that old depression that had dried up. And this place right here should be perfect for them as well. So keep a lookout for these sorts of features.